There's this old idea of the expat executive, right?
Hmm.
You picture someone flying into, say, Hong Kong or Singapore, staying in a fancy hotel, signing a deal, and then flying out the next day. Very cinematic.
Very James Bond, yeah.
Hmm.
And completely out of date.
It really is. I mean, anyone who actually does business in Asia now, especially in the industrial side of things, knows that's just not the reality anymore.
Not at all. The reality is much more embedded.
Mm.
Companies aren't just sending someone for a handshake. They're sending whole teams to manage supply chains, to oversee a factory build for 6 months.
Which changes everything. It changes the timeline from days to months, and it totally changes what you need on the ground. You can't run a major project from a hotel lobby.
You really can't.
Blech.
And that, I think, brings us right to the mission for today's deep dive.
Yeah.
We're looking at a really fascinating case study out of Thailand.
A perfect example of this exact shift. We're looking at a partnership between the global workspace company, IWG, everyone knows their brand, Regus, and some major Thai players. They're building this premium flexible workspace, but the part that caught my eye is where they're building it. It's inside a Japanese-style community mall in Chonburi province.
Cape Park Sriracha. And yeah, it sounds a little odd at first, a serious corporate office inside a themed mall.
Right. But when you start to peel back the layers, it tells you so much about the Eastern Economic Corridor and really the future of work for professionals on the move.
And we should say, we're looking at all of this through a very specific lens.
Yes, through the lens of moveandstay.com.
And that's important context.
Yeah.
I mean, for over 25 years, Move and Stay has been the place for exactly this kind of thing. Not just holiday apartments, but service offices, executive housing across Asia Pacific.
Exactly. They specialize in that extended stay niche. We're talking solutions for professionals, for entrepreneurs, for whole corporate teams who need to land somewhere and just start working.
Hit the ground running.
So when a property like this new Regus pops up on their radar, it's a huge signal. It tells us where the market is going for people who need to live and work abroad comfortably.
And that work component is what we're really drilling down into today.
So, okay, let's set the stage. We're in Sriracha, and for anyone listening, Sriracha is not just the hot sauce.
No, it's not, though it is hard to shake the name.
It is. In business terms, Sriracha is a key industrial hub, and this new office is in a place called J Park Sriracha Nihon Mura.
Nihon Mura, which means Japanese village, right?
It does, and it's not just a name. The whole place is designed to look like a traditional Japanese town. It's an immersive experience.
So let's picture this. I'm a supply chain manager from Germany, and I'm used to these glass and steel office parks.
Right.
I show up for my first day at my new office in Thailand, and I'm walking past pagodas and lanterns to get to my desk.
Pretty much, yeah. You're in this environment that feels like a little piece of Kyoto, and then you walk through one door, and suddenly you're in a completely modern, state-of-the-art Regus business center.
It's a wild combination.
So what are the actual specs? Because, a movie and stay user is looking for function over form at the end of the day.
It's a serious space. We're talking 555 square meters with about 120 workstations.
Okay.
But the configuration is what's key here. This is not a big open-plan co-working space for freelancers.
No beanbag chairs and kombucha on tap.
Not at all. It's set up with private offices, specifically for teams of 2 to 8 people.
2 to 8, that number feels very intentional.
It's the classic landing team size, isn't it? If you're a foreign company setting up a new factory or implementing a new system, you send a squad. You said 5, 6, 7 people. This space is built for them.
That makes perfect sense. It's for the project team.
Exactly. And of course, you have the business lounge, the meeting rooms. But the real value, the thing that makes it a true serviced office, is the support.
And this is where that move on stay connection is so crucial. If I just go and rent an empty office in Thailand, I have to sort out the internet, hire a receptionist, find a cleaner.
In a language you might not speak, it's a nightmare. It's just friction.
Yeah.
Here, you walk in, and there's a professional bilingual reception team. They handle your mail. They greet your clients.
It's plug and play.
That's the term. You open your laptop on day one, and you are fully operational. That speed to market is worth so much.
Okay, but I still have to ask about the location. A mall. Is that professional? If I'm trying to close a big deal, do I really want my client walking past a sushi shop to get to my office?
It's a fair question.
Mm-hmm.
But look at who is behind this. You have Synergy Spaces, which is part of the Saha Group, one of the biggest conglomerates in Thailand. They don't make mistakes. And one of their VPs, Tinakorn Badag, talked about creating an enhanced working environment.
What does enhanced mean in this context?
It means integrating work with life. Think about that expat manager again. They're working long, stressful hours in an industrial zone. If their office is in some dusty industrial park, their quality of life is basically zero.
Sure, your lunch option is a vending machine.
Exactly. But here, they step outside at noon, and they can have a proper Japanese meal, they can run an errand, they can just walk through a really pleasant green space. It's about work-life balance, but for real.
So it's actually a retention strategy. If you want your best people to stay in an industrial hub for a year, you need to give them a life outside of the factory walls.
Spot on. It reduces the hardship factor. And for the Japanese expats in particular, it's a little taste of home. You can't put a price on that kind of psychological comfort.
Okay, that covers the human side. But let's pivot to the economics, the why. Why Sriracha and why now? There has to be a bigger driver here.
Oh, there is, and this is where we have to zoom out. You can't understand this one office without understanding the EEC.
The Eastern Economic Corridor, I see that acronym everywhere. For listeners who might not know the details, what is the EEC, really?
It's basically Thailand's massive strategic bet for the future. It covers 3 provinces, including Chonburi, where Sriracha is. And the government is pouring billions into infrastructure, high-speed rail, deep-sea ports, highways, to make this the high-tech industrial heart of Southeast Asia.
So we're not just talking about textiles anymore.
Not even close. Think EV manufacturing, aviation and aerospace, robotics, advanced medical devices. And with those high-value industries, the type of worker changes. You're not just bringing in labor, you're bringing in engineers, consultants, regional directors.
And those people need professional offices. They're not working on the assembly line.
Exactly. And look at the geography here. The source material points out J-Park's proximity to the motorway and, this is crucial, Chaban Port.
Which is the biggest deep-sea port in the country, right?
It's the main gateway. If you're in logistics or manufacturing, you live and die by your proximity to that port. The Sriracha Industrial Zone is right there.
So if I'm, say, a Japanese auto parts company, I need my factory and my logistics near the port, but I don't want my regional sales office at the port.
No. Ports are loud and chaotic, so you put your operations there, but your management, your client-facing team, you put them 10 minutes down the road at the nice, quiet, professional Regus office in the Japanese village.
It's the business in the front, party in the back, mullet strategy for corporate real estate.
I have never heard it called that, but
Yeah.
yes, it fits perfectly. The director of Synergy Spaces put it a bit more formally, saying they want to foster business expansion. They're building the professional front office so foreign investors can look legitimate from day one.
That legitimacy point is so important. A Regus address on your business card versus some random address, it signals stability. It signals that you're serious.
It absolutely does.
So the strategy makes sense, the location is smart, but is anyone actually buying it? What do the numbers say?
This is the part that genuinely surprised me. The demand is not theoretical. It's already there.
But the place isn't even open yet, is it? The launch is March 1st, 2025.
Correct. But they've already sold 30% of the capacity for the entire year of 2025.
30%. Pre-booked. In commercial real estate, that's huge, isn't it?
It's exceptional. It tells you there was this massive pent-up demand. There were companies sitting there working out of hotels or temporary sites just waiting for something like this to exist.
The second it was announced, they signed the lease.
Pretty much. And they're forecasting 80% occupancy by 2026, which is aggressive, but honestly, it seems totally achievable now.
It also tells you a lot about IWG's strategy. I mean, they're a giant.
A behemoth, 4,000 locations in over 100 countries. They have more data on work trends than almost anyone. So when they decide to plant a flag in one specific mall in Sriracha, it's not a guess.
No, it's a data-driven decision. They know who is coming to the EEC, and they know what they need.
It's a seal of approval. And for a move-in stay customer, it's a sign of consistency. You know, you can walk into that Regus in Sriracha and the Wi-Fi will be fast, the coffee will be hot, and the meeting rooms will just work. It removes all the risk.
I want to zoom out one more time, because this isn't just about one office, is it? The source mentions this is just the first step for the partnership.
No, it's clearly a corridor strategy. The very next month, in April 2025, they're launching another location, this time in Bangkok.
At Kingbridge Tower. And that one is under the Spaces brand. How is that different from Regus?
Spaces is IWG's more design-led, sort of creative-feeling brand. A bit more modern, maybe a bit more casual. Regus is the corporate gold standard. And Kingbridge Tower is grade A office space. in a major Bangkok business district.
So Sriracha in March, Bangkok in April.
Exactly. You connect the industrial hub in the EEC with the financial and corporate hub in Bangkok. They're building a bridge between the two.
For the super commuter.
That's it. Think of a regional director. Monday, Tuesday, they're at the factory, working from the Sriracha office. Wednesday, Thursday, they're in Bangkok meeting with government officials or bankers, working from the Kingbridge Tower office.
And their one membership gets them into both.
That's the power of the network. The real estate is finally catching up with how people actually work. They aren't tied to one desk in one city anymore.
That's such a key point. For so long, flexible work meant working from home. But you can't manage a factory from your kitchen table.
No.
So here, flexible means having a network of professional spaces wherever your work takes you.
It's distributed infrastructure.
Yeah.
And that's what move-in stay users are looking for. They live that hub-and-spoke life.
It really just feels like a smarter way to do business. Instead of leasing a massive floor in central Bangkok and forcing your engineers to do a 4-hour round-trip commute to the factory every day.
Which is just brutal. Bad for morale, bad for productivity. Now you can put your ops team right where they need to be in Sriracha and your finance team in Bangkok. Yeah. It's more efficient, and it improves quality of life.
But it does suggest that the old idea of this central business district as the only place for serious business is, well, it's fading.
It's decentralizing.
Yeah.
Premium grade A office space is moving out to where the work actually happens instead of forcing everyone to come to it.
And with all the investment pouring into the EEC, this is just the beginning, isn't it?
I think so. This demand is only going to grow. I'd expect to see more of these lifestyle integrated office hubs popping up all over the corridor.
So for our listener who might be planning a move or just wants to know where things are headed in Asia, what's the big takeaway from all this?
I think it's that the hard line between living and working abroad is dissolving. It's no longer about living in the expat bubble and working in the gritty industrial zone. They're merging. You can now work in a place that actually supports your lifestyle.
And when you're looking for that solution, say on move-in stay, you shouldn't just be looking for an apartment. You should be looking for a whole ecosystem. That's what they've specialized in for 25 years, these holistic extended stay solutions.
Exactly. Find the service department near the service office, and you've solved 90% of the problems of working in a new country.
It's a huge evolution.
Yeah.
From the fly-in, fly-out executive to the embedded professional working from a Japanese village in Thailand's industrial heartland.
The world of work is definitely getting more interesting.
So I want to leave our listeners with one final thought to consider. We've talked about how premium offices are moving out of the city center and into community malls and industrial zones to be closer to where life is actually happening.
Right. It raises a huge question.
It does. If the high-end office can come to you, are we seeing the slow end of the traditional daily commute into a central business district? And for your next business trip, are you going to be looking for just a hotel, or are you going to be looking for a hub?
It's definitely something to think about before booking that next flight.
Thanks for this deep dive today.
My pleasure.
We'll catch you on the next one.